in this Viper. God, this thing sounds so awesome. Someone's gonna have to come down here to Eddie's Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram here in Wichita and pick this up, because this thing, I mean, just listen. God, this thing is not gonna last very long, and I am freaking ecstatic to do this video. This is the only one I've ever drove. I've only been able to be fortunate enough to be around 3 of them, and this is the only one I've been able to drive. And these pedals are so close together. Just listen to this. It does have, I don't know if it's a short throw shifter, but it's definitely a shorter shifter. The factory Vipers have the 6-speed pattern in the ball. This has the Viper logo. And I really like, this really looks good, especially in the sunlight. I'm only in 3rd gear. God, man, I am on cloud 9 with this car. You don't see a lot of these Vipers like you do a Corvette. You know, like you do a Mustang G, you know, even a GT350, a GT500. These Vipers are a different animal. This thing just, it redlines at $6 grand. I'm in 2nd gear doing 40 mile an hour, well, 45 now, at 3,000 RPM, and this thing just, it just wants to go. This thing, God, this thing, these are amazing machines. You can see how close my knee is to the dash. This seat's all the way back, and it's definitely tight. It's like the faster this thing goes, the happier it is. What's up, guys? Welcome back to a Viper episode of Cory's Car Review. And before we get started, a tremendous shout out to Eddie's Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram and here in Wichita, Kansas on West Kellogg for giving us the opportunity to share this amazing machine with you guys. I can't tell you how excited I am, because this is one of my personal dream cars since I was a kid. I think every kid, when these Vipers came out in '92, had a poster hanging up on their wall, I know I did, of the '92 Viper when it came out. It's an amazing machine. Since '92, when these Vipers debuted, they have been an American icon. They're all hand-built in America. They're rear-wheel drive. They're only offered in a 6-speed manual. All of them, they've only been offered in a V10, all the way from an 8-liter when they were debuted in '92 to an 8.4-liter. So there were 3 key automotive masterminds that helped develop this Viper. Bob Lutz was the head of product development at Chrysler at the time. Tom Gale was the head of design, and along with Carroll Shelby, which we all know who Carroll Shelby is, they together came up with the design of the Viper. Bob Lutz had a Shelby Cobra replica at the time that he drove quite a bit, and he loved it. And we all know those are a death trap, just like this Viper. A big engine. They had a 427 only had a 4-speed rear-wheel drive, super light, just like this Viper. It only weighs 3,300 pounds. So this debuted at the Detroit Auto Show in 1989. No one thought it would ever make it to production, just like the Prowler. We did a video on the Prowler from Eddie's Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram. If you guys haven't checked out that video, you need to go check that out. That was a cool car. So just like the Prowler, no one thought the Prowler would make it into production. No one thought the Viper would make it into production because it was such a crazy idea. So in 91, the Dodge Stealth was going to be the official pace car at the Indianapolis 500. Well, the United Auto Workers were upset because the Stealth was made in Japan and it wasn't made in America. So last minute, Chrysler changed plans and they decided to have the Viper as the honorary pace car, and they had Carroll Shelby drive it, and it raised so much hype and it got so much attention that Chrysler started getting orders right and left for the Viper, and then 92 is when they debuted the Viper. So the first generation Viper ran from 92 to 95. They say that was a first generation because they didn't come out with the hardtop GTS until 96. So technically, Viper guys say that was the 96 to 2002 was the second generation. I think it should all be one generation personally because it's dang near the same body style. But I'm not a professional. I don't own a Viper, so I don't have any right to say that. But the first generation, they say, is 92 to 95, and when it debuted, it had the 8-liter V10, 400 horsepower, top speed at 165 mile an hour, and a price tag of $52,000. So that first generation Viper, like I said, 92 to 95, there were no door handles, no windows, no trash control, no ABS, no airbags. That first generation Viper was a legit death trap. Just like the Cobra, you had a big motor with a lot of horsepower, it didn't weigh a lot. This is a big motor, a lot of horsepower, doesn't weigh a lot, 3,300 pounds. And they didn't even come out with the airbag until 96. It also didn't have air conditioning. The 92 through 95, that first generation, didn't have air conditioning. It was just a base race car. So the second generation ran from 96 to 2002. 96 is when they offered the GTS, the hardtop, and they call it the double bubble roof because if you're going to race it, they wanted to leave you enough room to wear your helmet. So that's why you've got that double bubble. So in 1996, they upped the horsepower to 450 and then upped it to 460 in 98. 96, they introduced airbags, and then in 2001, they added ABS. The third generation Viper ran from 2003 to 2006, and that's what this is, a third generation. This is an 04. They only offered 2003, 4, and 5 in a convertible. They didn't offer the hardtop again until 2006. They upped the displacement from an 8-liter to an 8.3 liter, and they upped it to 500 horsepower. So they skipped 2007 for some reason, brought it back for the fourth generation in 2008 through 2010, upped the displacement to an 8.4 liter, upped the horsepower to 600, and then gave it a top speed of 202 mile an hour. They canceled production again after the 2010 model year. 2013, they brought back the fifth generation, which ran from 2013 to 17, up the horsepower to 640. So they spent a little over $70 million in the development of the Viper, and the whole span from 92 to 2017, they sold a little over 32,000. So since we're at the front of this, I want to point out something that all these Vipers do not have is an inside hood release latch. All these Vipers, the hood release latch is right here under the hood. So you would pull that, and then there's that would release the first latch, and then the other hood release is right here that would actually raise the hood up. The first generation, well, technically the first and second, when you pop the hood opened this way, like the Corvettes. That's one thing that I wish these other generation Vipers would have kept, was the way those hoods opened, because it was so unique to this car. But moving on to the side, my favorite thing about these Vipers are how wide the tires are. You put as wide a tire as you can on anything, especially on the back. I mean, on the front also, and it just makes the car look so much better. So the fronts are sitting on 18 by 10 inch. The backs, which we'll go around the back and show you, they're 19 by 13. 13 inch freaking wide tires, over a foot of tread back there, and it still breaks loose at probably any speed you want to drive it. On the hood, you've got these heat extractors that allow heat to get out of the engine compartment. The sides, you've got these ventilated side vents that allow heat to get out from not only the engine compartment, but also inside the fender well. Those first two generations, they had the RT10 Roadster, and then the 96, they had the GTS. Well, for this generation, and then moving on, they dropped the RT10 and the GTS and had the SRT10. So that's why it's got the SRT10 badging, and on the back it says Viper. First generation, 92, 95, had the side exhaust, which they should have never got rid of the side exhaust. It's awesome. The other generations, 96 through 2002, had the exhaust running out the back because they say this gets so hot, and it does. It's warm. My personal opinion, I never really liked the look of the exhaust out the back. I think this side exhaust, it was authentic to the original Viper when it came out, and they should have just left it because it's such a cool feature. Like I said, the back wheels are 19 by 13 inch. Now this does have a aftermarket spoiler that the previous owner has added. I do like the look of this spoiler. The factory one had a little bit of a lip, kind of like the fenders and the front fender. It came up a little bit, but not a whole lot. I do really like this. And when you come around to the back and you bend down and you look at it from the back close to the ground, you really get the feel and the view of just how wide those are. And then factory with these Vipers, you get this huge rear diffuser that lets the car have more downforce, and it sucks that at higher speeds, it sucks that rear end down closer to the ground. So to get in the trunk, you've got either a trunk button on your key fob, or you can open it with the key. And honestly, you don't lose any trunk space with that convertible because that convertible top doesn't fold down inside, but you've got a decent amount of trunk space. I like the Viper logo right there. I mean, if you wanted to use this as your daily driver and go get groceries, you got really plenty of room back there, way more than the Prowler did. The Prowler, you put a CD back there and it's full. So I want to show you the heart and soul of this beast, which I guess is really the heart and soul of every car. Oh, so the intake obviously is here in the front, but you've got the air induction here in the hood, and then also right here in front of the hood, and that air will go through this intake. 8.3 liter, 505 cubic inch, which is why you have the V10 505 right here in the front. 500 horsepower, and all these are naturally aspirated, which means there's no supercharger, there's no turbo. But just seeing that massive engine and how beautiful that looks, I love these red valve covers. They say Viper. Something I want to tell you guys about the motor is, at the time in '92, Chrysler owned Lamborghini. So Chrysler went to Lamborghini and said, we want you to help us develop a V10 aluminum engine for this Viper. So Lamborghini actually helped Chrysler develop the Viper motor. So like I said earlier in the video, the original Viper did not have door handles because since there was no roof and no window, you would just reach in and open the door handle from the inside and open it. So all the door handles on these Vipers, they're all up here, which is, I like that because everything is flush and you don't see the door handle. And then look how wide that door sill is getting in. That's why they talk about it's easy to burn your legs because that's so wide. There's really no way that you can get in it gracefully without rubbing your leg against that. So I'm sure in the summer it would be warm with shorts on. I love these white face gauges, and I'm pretty sure all the Vipers have white face gauges. But you've got your fuel gauge on the left, and then your 6,000 RPM tach in the middle, 220 mile an hour, and this Viper only has 20,000 miles. On the top here, you've got your oil pressure, and then your oil temperature, your coolant temperature, and then your battery voltage. And all these Vipers are push button. You got your radio and your air conditioner controls. So these factory shift knobs, they're a little bit taller, and they've got the 6-speed pattern. This has an aftermarket, I mean, it's still the Viper shifter, but it's a shorter shifter. Your emergency brake, your cup holder, and then your windows. And I really like that they've painted this plastic piece to match the color of the car. That looks really good. Got the Viper right there in the back of the seat, and you've got holes in the back of the seat if you want to add any kind of racing seat belt. The middle of these seats are Alcantara, and you've got leather on the outside. And look how wide those side bolsters are. So if you're doing some high-speed cornering, that's definitely going to hold you in place.
which has determined your fate. I've never seen so clear. I feel the end and it's near. The day of reckoning's here. The sound of deafening fear. You won't die if you try. You just might get a little bit of trouble. K-N-I-F-E, right in your side. You will never see me coming. You won't die if you try. You just might get a little bit of trouble. K-N-I-F-E, right in your side. You will never see me. My energy is next level, so damn you better be careful. I got an angel and devil, he snaps me straight in the temple. I'm ready to be a rebel. I've got a lot of potential hidden inside of this vessel. That shit is so exponential. I need a first class ticket to the top, no limit. I don't play no gimmicks. I'ma take you to the clinic. If you want a taste, come at me and you will be replaced. They won't find a trace of you anywhere or any place. You won't die if you try. You just might get a little bit of trouble.
I can't wait to show you guys the next car we're going to do in the future, and thanks for watching.
No, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up